Hello, we're going to go ahead and begin. Let's go ahead and get started. Well, I want to welcome you to the inaugural webcast for the Families and Child Wellbeing Learning Network. We are very excited to have you join us today. I am Dr. Nicole Huff, a co-PI for the optimization effort of the Learning Network. During the next half hour, you will hear from representatives on behalf of our partnering 5 communities of practice, as well as other leaders on our executive team. One of the goals of this webcast is to familiarize you with the purpose, mission, and vision of the Families and Child Wellbeing Learning Network. And in an effort to extend our reach and collaboration, we invite you as you listen along to consider ways that you too may partner with us in the future. After we've heard from all speakers, we will open up the floor for questions and comments at the end of the webcast. The Families and Child Wellbeing Learning Network is an e-extension optimized community of practice, or COP, that is committed to collectively extending the public reach and engagement capacities of the following 5 individual COPs: the E-Extension Alliance for Better Child Care, Family Caregiving, Family Food and Fitness, Financial Security for All, and Just-in-Time Parenting. One of the goals of our optimization effort is not only to coalesce these individual communities, but also to cross silos, operating as multidisciplinary partners that work together in joint research, funding, and educational efforts. Pragmatically speaking, funding for the Families and Child Wellbeing Learning Network is housed at North Carolina State University. But as you will see momentarily, we have executive team representation from across the nation. Our optimization year began this past November and will run through October of 2014. Later in the webcast, we will discuss our online reach and the creation of future deliverables as part of our mission and vision. The Families and Child Wellbeing Learning Network executive team is comprised of myself, co-PI Dr. Janelle Kelly from North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, project manager Ms. Katie Stamper, and representatives from each of the 5 partnering communities of practice, many of whom you will hear from shortly. We'll now turn things over to Dr. Janelle Kelly, who will talk to you more about the mission, vision, and co-branding efforts of our learning network.
Thank you so much, Nicole. Hello, everyone. The Families and Child Wellbeing Learning Network has had some face-to-face and virtual discussions with representatives from the American Association of Family and Consumer Sciences, mainly to discuss some co-branding opportunities that we hope will extend the reach and recognition of the reach of our organizations and the recognition of our organizations to professionals in our field and to the public who can benefit from what we have to offer. As an example, today we are using the Family and Consumer Sciences Creating Healthy and Sustainable Families icon at the top of our slides. And this is done in support of our mutual promotional efforts, how we see those playing out. We will continue to co-brand as appropriate with the tagline, a national collaboration of family and consumer sciences to further connect professionals and the public to the work we are all doing with the Learning Network as well as with AAFCS. As such, we see the Learning Network serving a more comprehensive, a purpose to be a comprehensive online resource for family and consumer sciences needs. And we're going to do this, or we envision doing this through the creation and dissemination of webinars, articles, and other information that both our clientele and professionals who are working with clientele, so those are our families and communities, things that they can use in their everyday lives. This collaboration really fits well with the topics of parenting, child care, nutrition, finance, caregiving, and these are all of interest to our learning network and the individual COPs. Now I would like to transition and briefly share the Families and Child Wellbeing Learning Network's mission and vision statements. So here on the screen is our mission statement, and we're working on it, so it's a work in progress. And we really see our mission as providing high-quality, practical, online educational resources and learning opportunities via e-extension to families and communities who support them through integrated efforts within the field of family and consumer sciences. The focus is really on being able to be fluid and multifaceted in our abilities to address issues of the day, so whatever those may be. When we talk about nutrition, for example, we really want to be able to view it through multiple lenses, and that goes along with what Nicole was saying about interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary work. We think this will translate well to families and communities as they're navigating everyday life. In terms of our vision statement, we envision ourselves addressing, promoting, and advocating for timely research that directly impacts children and families while building this sense of community among family and consumer sciences professionals and partners. We think that building a virtual community is important, and we look forward to finding ways to do this as a learning network. Well, now that I've given you an overview of the Families and Child Wellbeing Learning Network, let's take some time to hear from each of our individual COPs. We'll begin with Dan Weigel from the University of Nevada Extension. And Dan, if I mispronounce your last name, please correct me.
It was close. Thanks, Janelle. Again, this is Dan Weigel from the University of Nevada Cooperative Extension. I'm representing the Alliance for Better Child Care today, the Extension Alliance for Better Child Care. And as you can see, we're a community of early childhood professionals with our primary goal is to improve the quality of child care and early childhood education. Most of us are aware that many children spend the majority of their day in out-of-home care. And our goal is basically to help improve the quality of that care. And so with that, our primary target audience is actually early childhood professionals, be it teachers, be it child care providers, preschool teachers, administrators, directors, anyone in the field of early childhood education. That's our primary target audience. And with that, we provide research-based information on a wide variety of topics, resources that those professionals can use in their programs. We have training opportunities, all kinds of things geared at that. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see that there are a variety of specific functions, specific features that we offer through our COP and on our online presence. As I mentioned, we have a wide variety of articles, content articles on our online site. It ranges from early language, literacy development, school readiness, health, nutrition, child abuse, children with special needs, just a wide variety of information for providers to find, and we continue to add that all the time. We also have an interesting feature, and that's our searchable databases. We actually have 3 different databases that providers and teachers can come into and search for specific things that they can take and go. We have one on classroom activities, where if they want an activity on science or math or nutrition or whatever, they can come in and do a search. They can search by age, they can search by skills learned, and they can find something that they can take and go. We also have a searchable database on songs and finger plays. Again, if there's a song that they remember, they don't know the lyrics to, or a finger play, a specific one they're looking for, they can come in and search on that database. And our more recent database is a story stretcher database where we house lesson plans around specific children's books, so that if they have a specific children's book in mind, they can go in there and pull out a whole day's worth of lesson plans. So again, that's one of our most popular features. We do offer quarterly webinars Our next one is coming up on science in March 19th. And throughout the course of the year, we offer several different webinars. We also provide opportunities for online training. A number of states have good online modules, and we link to those so that providers can come and upgrade their skills and get more training opportunities. We have several social media outlets. We have Twitter, Facebook, we have a YouTube channel, and we have an ongoing blog for providers to provide more information and engage the audience that way. We also have features, Ask an Expert, FAQs, and we also have a special section for military providers. As part of the Military Families Learning Network, we created specific articles, specific webinars, social media posts, specifically for military providers. And so we have that as one of the sections on our website in addition. So with that, that kind of covers the E-Extension Alliance for Better Childcare. And so now I think I pass the torch to Andy Crocker, Family Caregiving. Is that correct?
That's correct, and Andy's from Texas A&M University. Thank you, Dan.
Sure.
Hi, Andy Crocker with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. The family caregiving community practice has been around for some time, and we felt that this was a great opportunity to join with other human science-focused communities of practice within the E-Extension to more fully represent the person and the family and the community as a whole, rather than, as Nicole pointed out in her introduction, in our own silos of subject matter expertise. You know, silos aren't just on farms. They exist in families and disciplines and all of that. And so Family Caregiving is very excited to be a part of this effort to more fully address pressing needs that our families and communities have. Our main mission is to continue to support the family caregiver, both the professional and non-professional family caregiver who is helping provide for the needs of someone, be it a family member, a loved one, a neighbor, a complete stranger, to give them those resources for a variety of concerns, and then additionally to speak to our own audience. One of the things that family caregiving has long recognized, and it's all because we're predominantly aging specialists, and I don't mean that tongue-in-cheek because we're growing older. I mean we're in adult development and aging, but not all of the states within the cooperative extension system have specialists devoted to adult development and aging, and so we really want to use E-Extension and the Families and Child Wellbeing Learning Network to really target even extension professionals in states who don't have aging, adult development, gerontology as a specialty. And so that's one of the things that we'll hopefully be able to achieve by working as part of this group. Our areas of interest include, of course, adult development and aging. Nope, sorry, I'm fighting with whoever's advancing the slides, and my apologies for that. Adult development and aging, disaster preparedness, employed caregiving, finances, and nutrition were two of the areas where, we had some really good resources, but we long ago decided that why should we try to compete with our friends in Financial Security for All or our friends in Families, Food, and Fitness? And so, we basically used those content areas in our community to really link to the people who knew more about those topics. And so this is just a natural extension of that. We'll be able to provide more robust information with regard to finance and nutrition. Health, housing, military caregiving is a relatively new area. We're proud to be a part of the Military Families Learning Network. And Family Caregiving is working with the military program at Texas A&M and recently the Civic Ecology Lab at Cornell University to really try to address the needs of military family caregivers in the community, relationships and self-care, relative caregiving, rural caregiving, and then so forth and so on. We have a variety of roles for people who want to contribute or come on board, reviewing or authoring content, repurposing stale materials. I'm sure many of you have offices like my office where there are things in paper that should be electronic or should be thrown away. And so e-extension and the Families and Child Wellbeing Learning Network is a great way to do that. Social media, webinars, etc. So family caregiving truly is and always has been a coalition of the willing. It's a very passionate group of people, and I think you'll find the Families and Child Wellbeing Learning Network is a passionate group of people as well. And glad to have you be a part of that, either as a user of the information that we're putting out there or a contributor. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, Andy. And now we'll hear from Ashley Pondren with Family Foods and Fitness COP, and she's from Mississippi State University.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Janelle. I'm representing the Families, Food, and Fitness community of practice. As you can see on the slide, our vision is to become a source of research-based information for families as they work to eat smart, move more, and achieve a healthy weight. And the mission of the Families, Food, and Fitness COP is to provide education and skills to help families make informed decisions about healthy eating and physical activity. Families, Food, and Fitness was started as a community of practice back in 2008. We went live as a website in 2009, so we've been around for several years. We've amassed over 400 COP members, and we've got a lot of really great content out there. Our target audience is families with children, and we have the goals of using our website to help encourage healthy eating among those families, to increase physical activity, and then to help families maintain body weight in a healthy range and avoid excess weight gain. With childhood obesity, a very high priority among this country right now, it seems even more important to mold health and nutrition into the other family and consumer science focus areas, which is why Families, Food, and Fitness is very excited to be a part of the Families and Child Wellbeing Learning Network. It's all about bringing all of the interests and all of the issues that families face together in one location where experts from all the different fields are working together to provide consistent messaging that does address all of those different needs. So through Families, Food, and Fitness, we have content in 6 behaviors that are related to the achieving and maintenance of a healthy weight. Move more every day, tame the tube, control portion size, enjoy more fruits and vegetables, prepare more meals at home, and rethink your drink. So in those content areas, we've got tons of articles. We also developed a quick and healthy recipe database that is beautiful and available online, and we would love to grow that and add more recipes to it. We've got interactive tools, and then we've also been sharing webinars over the past year that bring together nutrition professionals from land-grant universities and other organizations to help expand other extension agents' knowledge in the area of nutrition and health. Yesterday we had a webinar released announcing the It's All About You toolkit for communicating healthful dietary guidance based on the dietary guidelines from 2010. So we're excited to make those materials publicly known through webinars, and we hope to continue to do that in the future as part of the Families and Child Wellbeing Learning Network. So thank you so much for allowing me to speak about Families, Food, and Fitness today.
Thank you so much. Now we will move on to Megan O'Neill. She's with Financial Security for All and the University of Maryland.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me all right. I'm here as the co-chair of Financial Security for All. Elizabeth Kiss from Kansas State University is my partner as the other co-chair of this community. I have personally been involved in this community since 2006, and even actually before we went live, just before we went live. This is one of the pioneering communities of practice, one of the first 5 that ever launched at extension.org. So I've watched this incredible growth and adaptation take place over time. and I'm still here. So I love what we do in our community. To give you a little bit of an idea of where we have been and where we are and where we're going, I'll share with you that at one time we had about 385 people who were identifying as members of this community. Unfortunately, we did not have a lot of active members. We had members who joined and probably got their ID because everyone in the land grant system said you need to get your ID, and then affiliated with us because their role had something to do with finance, but they did not turn on, even though they had turned out. So this last year, after several years of lamenting that we had a great cachet of seeming members or members on paper, but members who were not contributing actively, I decided to survey and determine who wanted to leave and who wanted to stay. And if they wanted to stay, where did they want to contribute? So we have now pared down our membership to about 187 people who intend to be active in a number of different ways. We still operate with a leadership team that is somewhere between 12 and 15 people at any one time, and we are actively seeking folks who want to become new leaders of the community. Our NIFO liaison is Susan Shockey from USDA NIFO. I'm sorry, that's repetitive. And Susan and Elizabeth and I have recently been talking about how financial security for all and extension.org in a larger sense, but most especially what our COP can do to help be an advanced organizer and help deliver on the NIFA strategic plan. And I think that you'll see, I'm going to enter a couple of things in the chat box so you can explore this more if you'd like to. You'll see us aligning with what the FLEC Commission, which is the Financial Literacy and Education Commission, has deemed are some of the key areas for financial capabilities outreach. Basically, there are 5 key concepts, and you'll see those at mymoney.gov, which is a product of the FLEC Commission's research and decision making. And My Money 5 really focuses on spending, earning, saving and investing, protecting your financial resources, and borrowing. And we're just trying to rebuild our content, I think, in the coming year or so around that, those 5 critical areas, rebuilding the backbone, and again, improving our ability to deliver on the strategic plan. I think there's a next slide. Can you advance? Thank you. So again, we've pared down to 186, 7, 8, depends on the day. I just invited 2 more people on the last webinar I was attending to join us. We currently have a little subgroup that's looking at doing some research on how student loan borrowers and people who are incurring out-of-pocket medical expenses are doing it as in their savings, in their personal savings. So there is some active research going on behind the scenes that people are welcome to join us with. We this morning, in fact, had a webinar. You see the link there regarding some updates on research into financial well-being, and savings being one of those efforts, but not all of it. We are actively involved in the America Saves Week, which is this week, and that's why that seminar this morning, that webinar this morning, focused in that area. We've improved our ability to reach out through social media. We had a Facebook account that really did next to nothing for about 3.5 years. And about 2 years ago, I went in and gave it a facelift and started to push some things out. And so we're doing much better with our reach through Money Extension on Facebook. Barbara O'Neill from Rutgers University is a big Twitter person and really pushes Money Extension on Twitter. Feel free to follow us or like us in those 2 forums. You can always email us or contact us through the community's pages at extension.org. I was the 2013 fellow for e-extension, and my work was in the area of addressing people's questions about how to sign up for health insurance through the Affordable Care Act. So as a little adjunct piece to our community, we did develop some resources for educators, for consumers, and for farmers in regard to their questions, frequently asked questions about the Affordable Care Act and its ramifications on their personal or business finances. So we also have a partnership that was forged with the Military Families Learning Network. Similar to this type of relationship, we still have our community that does its own work and has its own communication threads, but when there is a nuance about military families or a special need from military families for types of information, we address that leveraging the resources of the original community as well. So I think that's my song and dance, and I'll pass it along to the next presenter.
Thank you, Megan. Next, we'll have Pat Nelson with Just-in-Time Parenting and the University of Delaware.
Thank you, Janelle. Just in time, can you hear me, Janelle? Janelle, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. Okay, Just-in-Time Parenting pulls together the key messages from research about how to help kids grow up healthy and ready for success. We have resources available in print and electronically, and they're especially useful for the mobile devices. As a team, we have combined our efforts to create one up-to-date, evidence-based national parenting education resource. So we provide to our Extension colleagues nationwide these resources that can add value to their programming and their work with parents. Just in time, our goals, 5 major goals, are first to catch parents at a time when they are most open to learning and needing information, the very teachable moment we all learn about. Second, to promote practices that support healthy growth and development for kids and their families. Third, to reinforce positive parenting behaviors. Fourth, affirm healthy interpersonal and family relationships, which are so crucial to healthy child development. And last, providing strategies for managing work and family stress, a very important area for healthy growth. People who use Just-in-Time Parenting like it because they like the colorful, attractive design, which is something we've been able to accomplish because we've been working together. It is developed for language at the 4th through 6th reading levels and 4th through 6th grade reading levels. And so we have purposely designed it to be for people who don't like to read and people who don't have time to read. And so it's designed to draw the reader into the page and to make it really fun and easy to read. It's available in English and Spanish at no cost to families if you use the electronic version. It's easy to deliver, especially the online format. But as a person in our state in Delaware, we have given parents a choice between print, mailed, and or hand-delivered by their home visitor, or electronic. And I will say it's not hard to develop a plan to deliver in the print version. It's just something we'll be happy to share our process for that. The usage data is available to our Extension colleagues at the city and state level. So this is important to people who need to fill out their annual reports and their success stories about the number of people they're reaching. And we have a number of evaluation tools that give you feedback from what our surveys show nationally, as well as give you some tools that you can use locally, especially if you use the print copy delivery. So the last thing I want to say is we as a community practice have great potential for growth, especially with the social media efforts. We cannot wait to learn from these wonderful colleagues that we're talking with today because there is so much for us all to capitalize on with our group wisdom. And we are totally convinced that we're all better when we work together. That's it, Janelle.
Thank you, Pat. And just on the screen, we have some upcoming webinars for just-in-time parenting. So March 20th, April 3rd, and 24th. And those are in collaboration with the Military Families Learning Network. So thank you so much to all of our representatives for sharing about some information about the individual COPs. And now we'll have Katie Stanford discuss our social media launch for the Learning Network and our efforts.
Thank you, Janelle. Hello, everyone. My name is Katie Stanford. I'm the project manager for the Families and Child Wellbeing Learning Network. We have worked very hard since January to launch not only our webpage but also our social media. In the next couple of slides, we will showcase that. This is a screenshot of our webpage, and it lists our resources, including the 5 COPs, and it links directly to their webpage. We have partnered with AAFTS and wanted to bring recognition to them on our front page. We have a listing of our people, which is everyone on our executive team, and many of which you have heard from today. We have a listing of upcoming webinars, which we only hope to add to, and a list of our tweets, which we're pretty proud of, and we try to schedule at least 7 a day. To learn more, orange button, you will find a listing of everyone who's on the leadership team, the mission and vision statement that Janelle discussed earlier, and we feel like it's a really good one-stop resource for you to find information to our COPs. In terms of our social media campaign launched in January, and we have 3 platforms of Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. In terms of Facebook, we are increasing our fans each day, and we post daily, and we make sure that all COPs are equally represented on all 3 platforms. And I encourage you to become a fan today and share and like and spread the word of the content that is posted. In terms of Twitter, we are over 200 tweets, so it's something that we know that a lot of people are going towards the social media platform, and we want to catch them in their prime time of social media. And so we do post at least 7 times a day, and we encourage you to be a fan and follower, and hopefully our numbers increase, and as well as our reach and engagement. In terms of Pinterest, we have 17 boards with almost 500 pins, with all COPs having at least 1 board represented. And so just pin away, please. We would love to share the content-driven post pins and tweets and show your support. In terms of a timeline for the Family Learning Network, Family and Child Wellbeing Learning Network, as I said, in January we hosted our social media and online presence campaign, and this is something we're still working on and wanting to improve on each day. In February, our goal was this right here, to create our first webcast and have an introduction of just who we are and what our goals and ambitions are. In terms of March, we're looking forward to the National E-Extension Conference in Sacramento, California, and we will host a workshop there. And as an executive team, this is a time for us to all to come together and really put the pen to paper and look at creating multidisciplinary webinars and break free from those silos and produce deliverables and move past just the surface level of a social media and web page presence. We want to get into things that, as a learning network, we're proud of and want to make sure that our sustainability is there. And we're looking into video clips and additional funding and more articles. So those are our goals for the upcoming month. So on behalf of the COPs represented today, the executive team and the Learning Network, we thank you for today, but we want to open up the floor to see if there's any comments or questions. Hi, this is Nicole, and I just wanted to reiterate some of what's going on in the text chat. And so we will make sure that some of it looks like as the PowerPoint version of our slide was uploaded and not the PDF version. There just been a few glitches in slides. But what we will do is make sure to post a corrected PDF version of today's webcast on our eXtension website after the webinar today, so that you can go and download the PDF slides so that you can get the information and the links to the different websites so that you can follow us and become a fan and tweet and whatnot, the Learning Network and then the 5 COPs. And so let's see some of the questions here. Barbara O'Neill, so she's curious as why the Creating Healthy Communities COP wasn't involved. And I can't, maybe some of the discussions about forming the optimization of this learning network have been going on far before my time in Extension. So the learning network goes back several years, and so maybe some of those intellectual members, maybe Andy or Dan, can speak to how the 5, partnering COPs came about.
Hi, Andy Crocker. It's a great question, Barb, and thank you for asking it. I don't actually know why Creating Healthy Communities, other than perhaps when these first, I don't remember when Creating Healthy Communities was established, and Donna, I thought I saw, was on the line. I don't recall when Creating Healthy Communities was established, but I would almost have to say that maybe our discussions about forming this kind of optimized effort predated them, and it just got lost in the mix. But there is no reason that they weren't involved. It's just that the coming together was truly the kind of family aspect of this through just-in-time parenting, childcare, finance, nutrition, and of course health is a huge component, and we will certainly look at ways to involve Creating Healthy Communities in any effort that we have.
Thank you so much, Andy, for answering that question. And as one of our goals, we are looking for ways in the future in creating a sustainability plan for the Learning Network. We are looking to expand our partners in the Learning Network. And so as Andy mentioned, then it may be something that we need to proactively look into and specifically talk with leadership in the Creating Healthy Communities COP to possibly look for ways to partner with them as well. Let's see. So Kathleen has asked Megan if she can highlight some of the ways that she was able to engage the 186 members of her COP.
Okay, yeah, I was just typing, and so it'd be better if I respond verbally. Thank you. Well, Kathleen and all, really it's still a work in progress. The first thing was to communicate to the much larger group of people that we termed, including a number of ghosts. That was our way of describing that people were kind of there in name only, and we had no idea who they were or whether they even still existed in the extension system and what they wanted to do, if anything, in our community. So we first sent the email and requested that they respond whether they wanted to stay or go. And that was about a 2.5 or 3 week process, and a number of people opted out. We also, were able to identify some whom we did not get responses from, who had not been active at all at extension.org in a year or 2 years or more. The system itself will tell you that with a little icon that looks like a stopwatch. And so if we had heard nothing back and they also had not been in the system, we went ahead and, in that long a time, we went ahead and purged them. So then we were left with these 180 or 70, I guess it was 176 or so at the time, who said, yes, I want to stay. And then I created a poll and asked people the number of areas that they wanted to contribute in, they thought, in the future. The poll had, I think, 10 options in it, and they were things like creating content, grantsmanship, leadership, pushing out social media, and a number of other different functions, some data analysis and so on. And so a menu of where they could contribute, and also a column that just said, I don't know where I want to contribute, I just want to keep getting the notices from you at this time. And now we're going through a process of each time there is an activity that is available to jump in on, so a leadership call or a content development need or some sort of creative problem solving around grantsmanship or whatever, communicating using our listserv and inviting those people who opted to stay to go ahead and begin to engage. We have had some recent new attendees on our leadership calls, which is ever so exciting for us because we've been a small group of overly burdened people for way too long, and it's nice to have new ideas and new people on those calls. And we're still working on building engagement with the 187 and skill building with them as well, because part of the reasons for some of those folks, I imagine, that they have not contributed is they haven't gotten on the backside of extension.org into Create or into Ask an Expert and actually learned how to become engaged. So we're still working through the barriers, but we're hopeful. At least we know that the people who are there want to be there and they want to contribute, and some of them are starting to engage.
Thank you so much, Megan. Other questions that I've seen come up, and so Nancy had asked about how we were promoting the Learning Network on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and just social media efforts. And Katie answered her. And so one of this inaugural webcast is part of that. And we will also be presenting both in a breakout session and at the welcome reception at the E-Extension National Conference in Sacramento in March. And then we will begin a webinar series that is content-driven in addition to webcasts like this one that is more for educating and informing our current activity. And so one of the things that Katie is doing currently is coordinating efforts with the social media contacts and the webmasters for each of the 5 COPs so we can begin to just really drive our audience. And we are excited as professionals to learn from the wealth of information that will be presented at the E-Extension Conference as how we can expand and extend our reach. And so we would love for you all after this webcast to please like us, follow us, fan us, do whatever so that you can help promote our efforts. And as Katie mentioned in the text chat, we do see it as a reciprocal effort. And so we try to use names and Twitter handles and whatnot as much as possible in our tweets that are in our Facebook posts that are content driven so that our partners that we mentioned that they can then retweet and that it generates more information for their audiences as well. And then I believe the next question came from Barb, and so she was interested in possibly doing a future webcast or a webinar on how we use Pinterest professionally. And then I'd like to say that Janelle Kelly and I have presented previously on using Pinterest professionally with extension audiences. We've actually got an article that is included that will be coming out soon in an upcoming journal, as well as some fact sheets and tip sheets, and we can make those accessible on our Learning Network site. And then we would be happy to do a similar webcast on how extension professionals can use platforms like Pinterest, especially to extend their reach. And so we'd be happy to add that to our list of deliverables. So thank you very much.
We'll also be at the conference, the national conference, so you can stop by and talk with us about that. Just a shameless plug.
Thank you, Nell. Okay, I think I'm caught up on text chat. Are there other questions or comments as we round out our time in our webcast? I think there's still a little typing going on, so we'll give it just another minute to make sure that we have answered all of the questions that you have for us. Okay. I'll open up as we're waiting for any last questions to come in, just for any of our presenters. If you have any closing comments, would welcome you, give you an opportunity to share those now.
This is Pat from Delaware. I just think this is a fabulous idea. I'm so excited about the energy that was evident today, and I'm so excited about the people we have leading this effort. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pat. I see a few more questions in the chat box. Okay, so there's a comment, I think, from Nancy Porter saying the homepage on the extension has some of the same problems other COPs have experienced with trending questions. Okay. Did you want to expand on that, Nancy, or were you just making a comment there?
This is Megan. I'll just quickly address that. We talked about that within our COP and questioned it. As far as I know, the answer from e-extension at this point in time is that, that is the way the content management board or community management board has all of the home pages set up at this time. They're not filtering so that just at personal finance, we just only have trending personal finance questions, or at master gardening, they only have master gardening questions. So, for example, I'm right now at the Families and Child Wellbeing page, and you can see there what Nancy's talking about is that they've got things about beetles and asparagus root and so on. I think that's going to be a topic of discussion at the national conference, whether or not people want to filter that out, what the technical things involved in that are, and what the cost versus benefits might be. It's, something for discussion, but it's not really a problem. It is the standard operating procedure on those home pages, to my understanding right now.
And on a different note, I was responding back. Barbara asked, was there going to be a networking time at the conference? And there'll be a couple of opportunities. We will be at the welcome reception, and so the Learning Network will have a booth or table set up at the welcome reception to network with others and to help just explain what our network is all about. We also have a breakout session on that Tuesday afternoon in which representatives, Janelle, Katie, myself, and the different COP representatives will be there as well to extend what you heard today in our journey to this point, and then our vision for the future, and then examples of some just cross-disciplinary deliverables and whatnot that we have upcoming. And then we also have a closed Learning Network executive meeting. It is for our executive team members, and then as well as other interested participants. And so if you have a specific interest in being a part of that, please let me know, and we will be happy to include you on those efforts. Okay. Well, Barb, there will be other ways for you to connect as well. And then I don't know if some of those of you who are chatting about the different trending and whatnot, I think that is being resolved in the text chat, and I'm going to defer to someone else if they want to speak on that. Okay, are there any other questions or comments before we close today? And I believe Ashley is helping to, and Craig are helping to answer some of the questions about just some of the e-extension pragmatics when it comes to Ask the Expert and different trending things. And as a learning network, we are early in our ability to gauge our social media reach and to do some of the things in which they are discussing in the side conversation. So as you finish typing of your comments, I just wanted to thank you once again on behalf of Janelle, Katie, myself, and then all of the COP representatives that talked today. Just thank you so much for joining us as we are beginning to formally launch our Families and Child Wellbeing Learning Network. We are very excited about the potential, about all we hope to accomplish in the remainder of our optimization year, and then just for a sustainability plan for the Learning Network and the partnerships that it creates and maintains in the future. Thank you so much for being a part of our initial launch, and we really look forward to partnering with you and working with you, and then just sharing more about our Learning Network and our 5 COPs in the future. And I think that is it. We can leave things up for just a moment for those of you who are still talking and text chatting. But that is all that we have for you today. Thank you so much, and please be on the lookout for our upcoming events and information, articles, fact sheets, webinars, webcasts, and whatnot. And if you have any questions or comments that come up after today, please feel free to contact anybody that presented today to get in touch with us, and you can find contact information for us on our website on eExtension.